JuJu Watkins is a model for young players not only for her talent, but also her humility. The opposing fans jeered JuJu Watkins when she was shooting free throws. They let out a pronounced groan when they thought she traveled. They booed even louder when, as the tension of the tight game rose, a Maryland player was whistled for a foul against her. But the most telling reception Watkins heard Wednesday night came when she was introduced before the game for visiting USC. From NFL plays to college sports scores, all the top sports news you need to know every day. At that moment, there was a loud burst of applause. USC would defeat Maryland 79-74 in the top 10 women's basketball matchup before more than 14,000 fans at Xfinity Center. Watkins scored a co-team high 21, but those numbers were only part of the full picture. The Trojans had come south from Rutgers in New Jersey, where a crowd of 7,356, including dozens of young girls with their hair done up in juju buns atop their heads, had packed a smaller arena. By the time USC's players walked off the court in Maryland, they were cheered off the court by a couple thousand more fans. JuJu's really had a cultural impact, head coach Lindsay Gottlieb said during her team's 2-0 East Coast swing. The girls and boys that come to the game, the way that it's impacted our program. It's hard to impact winning like this, right? She came and impacted winning, got other great players to come. They start to talk about that, and little girls can see them, and they can wear the bun, and they can aspire to be like these women. Watkins, a 6'2" sophomore guard, may be the brightest fixture of a sport that saw its national title game outdraw its men's counterpart last season when South Carolina defeated Iowa. She's built a following faster than Caitlin Clark even did, says Howard Megdal, a longtime observer of the sport who is writing a biography about Clark that will publish in June. Though that is partially a function of a vastly larger national profile for women's basketball Clark helped grow. Clark, Iowa's supernova guard, overtook the sports world last season as she broke Division I basketball's all-time scoring record, was a model for young players for not only her poise and precision, but also her humility. But Watkins is showing them they can be so much more than a supremely talented player to have appeal as an athlete. I think it's that combination of her incredibly polished play and how stylish she is in the way she plays and presents herself off the court, Megdal says. When we watch Watkins, we see soft jumpers, hard drives and head fakes, but also ways to showcase yourself that are more attainable for players in youth and high school sports. Here are 4. I practically ran into Watkins Wednesday night as she ducked into a tunnel just out of sight from the crowd before the game. A woman who had floor access spotted her and asked for a selfie. Watkins stopped, crouched her 6'2" frame into the photo while using her arm to adjust the angle of the woman's phone. The 10-second moment was enough to give you the impression that the Watkins who showcases her talents before celebrity crowds in Los Angeles is the same person when you stop her during warm-ups. She's so humble, she's so kind, says Rhonda Williams, whose daughter, Laura, is a freshman forward for the Trojans. Williams, the wife of Super Bowl XXII MVP and current Washington Commanders executive Doug Williams, was standing in line to get into the Maryland game with their high school-aged daughter, Lee, in sub-freezing temperatures. She brings so much energy to every arena and people are coming, Rhonda Williams said of Watkins. Even if they don't root for USC, they're coming to see her. Sports success is fleeting. The way we treat people lasts forever. Especially as young athletes, it's those little snapshots that can define us. I have seen kids brush past opposing coaches wishing to greet them or ask their mom to carry their equipment to the car, because perhaps they feel their success entitles them to do so. Be the one who shakes everyone's hand, or who picks up the equipment for the coach at tryouts. These are also the moments where the coach might be watching you most intently. The best coaches know that what you do when you think you are out of public view tells them the most about who you are. Ted Watkins Sr., JuJu's great-grandfather, was a vibrant member of the United Auto Workers Union. In 1965, he founded the Watts Labor Community Action Committee, WLCAC, the same year as Watts Rebellion.